Well, hello everybody and welcome to Mendel Center Connections. I'm Mike Nadolski, and today we have with us Lisa Cripps-Downey, President of the Berrien Community Foundation. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Great, great. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing about the Berrien Community Foundation Arts Challenge, which just launched, but I thought we'd start out by just talking a little bit about the foundation itself and your role. So if you could fill us in a little on that, that'd be great.
Sure, I'd love to. So I'm the president of the Berrien Community Foundation. I've been here about 6 years now, and the Community Foundation is I think it's such a unique animal in the role that it fulfills in the community. We're a center for philanthropy, so people know us probably more for grants and scholarships that we make. We also have taken leadership roles in some projects throughout the community and things that we're able to, ways we're able to contribute with bringing volunteers to the table, bringing minds to the table, bringing organizations together to discuss an issue. And then the other thing that people may or may not know, or we hope they know, is that people can do their own philanthropy through the Community Foundation. If you want to open your own fund, in addition to the funds that we already have that have to do with either general support of the community through endowments or individual funds for specific areas such as education or the arts, people can have their own donor advised funds. And a lot of people also use the Community Foundation as a way to do their charitable giving at the end of their lives. And so they do life end gift planning. So if I've given to an organization forever during my lifetime, and I want to figure out how do I continue to do that support, we often work with people to do that life end giving and that kind of planning so that their philanthropy can continue.
How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected you over there at the foundation?
It's been pretty busy over here at the foundation. I think we've really wanted to make sure that we are playing the role that we need to play for our community at this time, looking at what are the needs and how do we help as an organization with resources that we can bring to bear. We wanted to make sure that we were doing that in the correct way. And so the board of the Berrien Community Foundation has been very actively involved in seeking out exactly what is the next right thing to do to help our community during this time. And as always, those who have been able to have been extremely generous, trying to help their neighbors. What do we do? How do we help? And so we've been able to play a lot of different roles during that time. The Southwest Michigan Cares Fund is a fund we've partnered with United Way, and there's just several donors have given to this fund to help during this time. And that fund, really, we started with kind of the emergency response. There were people who we were looking at how are you sheltered and fed and kept safe during this time. And now we're moving into more of a long-term recovery where we're looking at, okay, now how do you recover from this with rent, with utilities, with operations? And so that fund has been very helpful in doing that, and we've had incredible support throughout the community.
And I know obviously one of the other, and that's why we're here to talk about this today, but one of the other things that the foundation did was reach out to the arts community, a segment of small businesses that really are struggling right now. Right. And you got us all together, and one of the outcomes of that very significantly is the Berrien Community Foundation Arts Challenge. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it really came about. We were thinking a lot about small businesses. We had the rent and mortgage payment program that we were able to help Cornerstone Alliance with for some small businesses. But then as we were looking at how COVID was impacting organizations, I mean, Mike, heavens, you know this yourself, the arts organizations, they can't gather. the symphonies, the theaters, they can't do what they are missioned to do. And when we come out of this, I don't know about you, but I still want to be able to have the ability to go to my local theater and to go and partake in the arts that this community has to offer. And so we knew we needed to do something to help them survive during this time. And we were very fortunate to find a donor, an anonymous donor, who said they would like to work with some arts organizations and challenge them. So they put $75,000 out there and said, you raise $75,000 and we will then, and they would match that amount. So it would be $150,000 that would go to support arts organizations. And it's not for, here's money to put on a show. This is really just, this is general operations money so that you can continue to pay your rent, that you can keep your lights on, you can do what you need to do. I think sometimes we forget that arts organizations are small or large businesses. There are a lot of people who are employed by arts organizations, and we need to support them, and we want to have them still here when we get to go back out and partake in the arts.
So I know the tagline is 10 organizations, one, or what is it, 10 organizations, one challenge? I think
yes,
that's it.
10 organizations, one challenge.
I keep flipping it. I don't know why. But,
it's okay. You can do that.
But do you happen to have the list? I have it in front of me if you don't. But
Yes, yeah, I do. We've been working together with these groups, and I think that's something else that has come together, that has come out of this, is that 10 organizations that maybe didn't work together prior have really found some kind of neat partnerships and learned, oh, I didn't know you did that. We do this, so I hope that coming out of this, they will continue to work together and do some things. But it's the Acorn Theater, ARS Gallery, Arts and Cultural Center, the Citadel Dance and Music Center, Children's Music Workshop, Ghostlight Theater, Krasel Art Center, Performing Arts Workshops, Southwest Michigan Symphony Orchestra, Twin City Players, and Water Street Glassworks.
Yeah, and I've been sitting in on the meetings. The college, Lake Michigan College, the Mendel Center is incredibly supportive of this endeavor and very grateful. And me personally, as an arts advocate and person who enjoys the arts like you do, and 5 of these organizations are regular partners with the Mendel Center. So we're trying to figure out how we can support as much as we can too. But I think you're right. I think the collaboration dynamic of this is going to go on long past this challenge. Already there was an arts patron readiness survey that came out of this, where we're figuring out in the county when are people really going to feel comfortable coming back to the theater, and what do we need to do to make folks more comfortable. But
what does that even look like?
Yeah.
Because the arts is something that you come together and you gather around. It's not something I socially distant around. So we're really having to be creative, but the folks in the arts, they're usually really, really great at that. So they have been creative. You're being creative with what performances in a parking lot. Hey, that's great. What we've been doing online Zoom. What are people going to do? How are we going to do this? And this challenge is going to support these organizations as they continue to be creative. And I think it's important to remember, when you think about when you're sheltering at home or we're not going out and doing as much as we were before. Definitely, we're really relying on the arts to entertain us through that. Whether it's a TV series or books or music, or maybe you've taken up some kind of art yourself. It's something that's really supported us all during this time. And I think it behooves the rest of us to give that back and to support them as they, I'm sure, are going to continue to innovate and create.
Yeah, the stuff that's gone online is incredible. Just the other day, I saw the Chicago Symphony Orchestra performing in the front lawns in Oak Park
Yeah.
because it's safer to be outside right now, unfortunately. But and for the musicians too, and the artists, not just the audience. I mean, you have to think about everybody. But yeah, there's a lot of innovation going on, and I anticipate that continuing. So I know there's going to be some sort of auction that the group has put together, and so the campaign officially kicks off, but already some money has been raised, right? Because arts organizations, leadership, board members have kicked in already.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we said to the arts organizations as they chose to participate, is saying, hey, your boards need to buy into this so that when we go to the community, the organization and their board members can say, we've given, and doesn't matter at what level, we've given, and so now will you help us fill the rest of that pledge? So before the challenge even began, the board of directors from all of these 10 organizations had already given just over $29,000 toward the challenge.
Yeah.
So then can the rest of us step up and do what we need to do to help them?
And I don't have this in front of me, but I think it's like August 15th. We're going to try to wrap all this up. So there's some,
yes.
I mean, the real timing is a lot of these organizations are sitting there in need right now.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, they haven't had revenue since the middle of March in many cases.
Yeah, there's so many, well, you think about it, they rely on ticket sales.
Sure.
And that's their primary revenue stream.
And classes in some cases.
Classes, those, yeah.
Camps.
And we can't, and those organizations cannot do that right now.
So the need is
some of them are being very creative. They're doing it online, but some of them are continuing. The thing is, a lot of them are continuing to do things online and not charging for it.
Right. And even if you are, I mean, it's a diminished revenue stream because not everybody makes that transition. And let's face it, there's no, I mean, that's why theater exists and why in-person teaching exists, is because it's highly effective, because it's the human dynamic, the energy transference from one person to the other. I mean, that's that emotional bonding that happens is highly motivational and inspirational. There's no substitute for it. Thank goodness for the technology, because it can get you further down the road, but we need to get over this and get back to it. And I need it personally.
I know.
I can't take it anymore.
It's not made for social distancing.
Right.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I've
so
heard friends who are like, "Yeah, I'm fine." No, it's not working.
Not fine.
No.
It will be fine, and we'll get there. But so if people want to contribute, how do they do that? What's the best way?
So there's two ways. You can go online. There's the Berrien Community Foundation on our website. It's berriencommunity.org, and it's /arts challenge. And there's a donate button there. You can send a check to the Berrien Community Foundation. We're holding the fund. And so if you send a regular old snail mail check to the Berrien Community Foundation in St. Joe, that also works.
Yep. And I know organizations, because I think 3 of them already this morning, but organizations are individually sending out emails. And I think there's a big mailing that's on the verge of going out too, but you don't have to wait.
That went out yesterday. So you don't have to wait. You can go online. We're just trying to support our arts organizations. Absolutely.
Well, Lisa, thanks. Any closing thoughts you want to share, or thanks for joining us today?
I think I'm so excited to see what this community does with this, because at a time when everybody was nervous, if you gave to help. Anytime there's any kind of crisis here, anytime there's any sort of need, I'm always just so overwhelmed with how amazing the folks in this community are. And I'm anticipating them stepping up and doing it again.
Yeah. It's interesting to me too to see, because I don't think there's ever been anything like this for the arts community. And it's such a rich, vibrant community for the arts. It's one of the reasons why I love living here.
Yeah,
And, so
absolutely.
yeah. So thanks for everything that you do and for being here today, and keep up all the good work.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike.
Yep. Bye now.
Bye.